So, you found out that your immigrant spouse is cheating on you or otherwise just using you to get a green card. This video is going to discuss what you can do about it and what your continuing obligations might be under the Affidavit of Support. If you're a subscriber to my channel, you probably already know that the vast majority of my videos are geared towards do-it-yourself and helping immigrants obtain immigration benefits and empowering them to make the correct decisions along their immigration journey. But this video is going to take a slightly different tone, and it's been inspired by a series of recent consultations which unfortunately involved a US citizen who's being taken advantage of by an immigrant spouse. So one of the first questions that I get during the process is, what are my continued obligations under the Affidavit of Support? And the answer to this question really depends on how far along in the immigration process your immigrant spouse might be. For example, if you have applied for a green card for your spouse, but you have not yet completed the interview and your spouse is not yet a permanent resident, there's actually a lot that you can do, and you might be able to cancel out any obligations you might have in the future under the Affidavit of Support. I have seen people successfully just send a letter to immigration services indicating that they wish to withdraw their family petition and they wish to withdraw their Affidavit of Support. When that happens, USCIS will typically take action and will eventually deny the green card application for the immigrant spouse. Now, what happens if your spouse already has a green card through your marriage? Well, that's actually much more complicated, because the moment they become a permanent resident, your obligations pursuant to the Affidavit of Support kick in. And that's a binding contract between you and the federal government indicating that you're going to at least maintain your spouse at the minimum federal poverty guidelines as long as they're a permanent resident. Those obligations will persist for 40 employment quarters, which means that if your spouse is continuously employed, you'll be responsible under those obligations for 10 years or until your spouse becomes a US citizen. There isn't that much that you can do about it if your spouse has already become a permanent resident. But if they are a conditional resident, you can, begin the divorce procedure, and that might be able to impact their ability to remove the conditions on their residence down the road. Now, in full disclosure, they can still remove the conditions, but only if they can prove that they entered the marriage in good faith and that the marriage terminated through divorce and everything was on board. If you believe that there was fraud involved, there are some statements you might be able to make to immigration services that will impact their ability to successfully remove the conditions on their residence. Another question that I frequently get is like, hey, this person took advantage of me. Can I just get them deported? Well, probably not. The answer to that really depends on immigration policies. For example, when Trump was president, there was a policy that said if a green card application, if an adjustment of status application gets denied, it can get referred to immigration court to begin removal proceedings. Currently, as of the video date that I'm shooting this video on, that's not true. So right now, if a green card application just gets denied, that's all that will happen. They'll get a letter saying that their immigration benefit is being denied and no further action will be taken. Some people will go out of their way to contact the immigration tip line or Homeland Security investigations. I've seen mixed results, but the vast majority of the time, no further immigration action will be taken. If this is a situation that you're going through, first of all, I'm really sorry that you have to go through this. But if you want more assistance, or you're not sure exactly what your rights or obligations are, or you've read the Affidavit of Support contract and you're confused, please feel free to reach out to me. I can assist you with this matter, or at the very least advise you on what your rights and obligations are. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe. I'll make more videos on these topics in the future, and I'll see you next week.